Today, we'll look at the distinctions between quad-core and octa-core processors and determine which is superior. Manufacturers and developers are surprising us with new features and improvements. Furthermore, because of the competition between different companies, users will have more choices in terms of hardware, operating systems, and, as we will see today, processors. Many features and technology distinguish today's mobile phones from the competition. And, as it should be, there are three components of cell phones that are really vital. It's about the camera, the screen, and the processor. As a result, we must understand the distinction between octa-core and quad-core processors. What are the different types of CPU cores? Cores are particular divisions within a processor for those who are unfamiliar with the term. Furthermore, its primary job is to distribute the orders we place on our phones. For example, when we click on an app, we are placing an order, which is made possible by the processor. It will also be in charge of ensuring that everything runs smoothly. Which is better, a quad-core or an octa-core processor? As a result, the cores are dedicated to reading instructions and carrying out certain tasks, therefore the more cores a mobile device has, the faster it can read and complete these processes. It's vital to note that each of these divisions operates separately in order to respond to the software's commands. This indicates that having several cores helps to disperse the device's burden. The mobile processor's importance. The processor is primarily responsible for controlling the operating system and processing program and application instructions using mathematical operations such as addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, and Boolean logic. In other words, we're dealing with a processor that does mathematical computations in order for the smartphone to function, with the assistance of the operating system. Which is better, a quad-core or an octa-core processor? Which is better, a quad-core or an octa-core processor? Furthermore, when it comes to determining the device's performance, the number of cores will be critical. Today's processors are almost always based on the ARM architecture. This core has been utilized by several firms to build processors and CPUs based on it. Which is better, a quad-core or an octa-core processor? As previously said, there are various types of processors available today, but the octa-core and quad-core processors are the most popular. What, though, is the fundamental distinction between the two? There are 4 cores in quad-core processors. They work independently to execute several operating system commands at the same time. This means they will be able to do up to 4 separate functions at the same time. However, it's crucial to note that the number of CPU cores has little bearing on the speed with which these tasks may be completed on a mobile device. Furthermore, dividing the processor speed by the number of cores to determine the speed at which each of them operates is incorrect. As a result, the performance will be largely determined by the amount of processing and requirements requested by the apps we use on a regular basis. Which is better, a quad-core or an octa-core processor? 8-core processors, sometimes known as octa-core CPUs, are typically found in most high-end smartphones. Octa-core CPUs enable several tasks to be completed at a reasonable speed at the same time. Furthermore, computers with this many cores have a better capability for executing the instructions that have been programmed. This is due to the fact that they reply with less time and resources. What's the distinction between these two processors? We may not perceive any difference in the pace with which various chores, such as utilizing social media and communicating via messaging apps, are completed. The octa-core processor's 8 cores do not imply that it is the fastest. In truth, a quad-core CPU can be quicker because the speed is solely determined by the mobile device's GHz. Another significant distinction between these two processors is that the quad-core has its 4 cores running at the same time. The octa-core, on the other hand, operates in a fundamentally different way. Only 4 of its cores are operational, and the rest will remain dormant until they are required. Processors with 8 cores, on the other hand, will provide more advanced technology. Furthermore, they will have lower energy usage and will be more successful at avoiding various crashes.